What's going on, Auntie's garden? Give me a minute to get inside my chat here. Switch. All right, there we go. I was trying to get inside my chat. So, talking about our blackberries. And y'all already know what we talking about, that blackberry worm, everybody we talking about. I uh, I posted that video last week. We got over 2 million views collectively from all the platforms. So I just wanted to come on and just answer any questions that anybody might have about any of the blackberries that we have growing back here. And as you can see, I got mine all pruned out, all good, airy. These are three dominant plants in this area here that produce so many berries that I don't even know what to do with them. So this is something that you got to take into consideration if you're growing these blackberries. You want to have enough space to be able to let them sprawl out. So this was something that I wanted to give some attention to. But these right here are some floricanes that have already been spent. So we're gonna let a few people get in here. We'll get on in and just kind of give some shout outs to everybody who's coming into the room first. You see, I got yeah, I know what we could do while we let everybody come into the room. I'm gonna go over here and show y'all. I have to give you an update on the squash cage every time we come out, right? Look at this baby here. Ooh, 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 ooh. Y'all just give me a minute so I can get this thing opened up. This is this has been a great investment right here. First of all, y'all let me know if you can hear me. Just give me some thumbs up. Y'all know the routine. The little let's see here. Cheryl the gardener says, "What's up?" Growing out the box. She says, "Hello." Okay. RM Madonna says, "Loud and clear." Jackie Griffin says she can hear me. She put the thumbs up. Cash flow. What's going on, cash flow? Y'all know the routine. Hit the little heart over there on the side of the chat, where you enter your little chat thing. Cheryl the gardener puts the thumb up. Appreciate that. Lynette Starr says, hello from Arkansas. Hey, that's crazy because the research that I was doing on the blackberries actually comes from Arkansas State University of Arkansas. Dr. John Clark is the one that developed those blackberries that I'm growing here, and that was developed from the University of Arkansas. But while we let everybody get into the room, I always like to give you guys an update on Godzilla. Y'all know I call him Godzilla. Look at this thing. She has to have at least a 5 foot footprint. This thing, like growing it in this cage here was an excellent idea, but mama, I'm gonna need more space. Yeah, this thing is massive. So I come out every morning and I hand pollinate so you can see how well these things are pollinated, because you can come out and kind of squeeze the top and let you know. This one I hand pollinated this morning. This was the first time it opened up. This one was hand pollinated the other day. So I get probably about 3 or 4 of these things off a day. Got one down here, huge, needs to come off. So yeah, this thing will feed a whole family. And because it's in this cage right here, she's living her best life. No insects, nothing bothering her, fertilized biologically. Uh, I mean, just doing extremely well. And then here we got our first candy roasters coming in. You see that baby right there? We got our first Georgia candy roaster squash coming in. Some people call them sweet potato squash. You can cook them like sweet potatoes. But that's the first one we got coming in. So we got to finish our trellis up to get her trilling. But you look how beautiful she's growing. Lots of male flowers on there. But that's her first female right here. That's the first female flower. Y'all remember how tiny she was and how light how light skinned she was the last time? I added some of my alfalfa FPJ on her, and look how she darkened up. That FPJ is I mean, it's a go-getter, and you can see she's putting off down there too. So, and even the little baby, I hit her with some of that FPJ. You remember how pale she was looking last time? So what I am going to have to do, I'm going to have to prune out some of the leaves on this side to give her a little leadway so she can come up. But the way these things are growing in this squash cage, even the little one over here, gave it a little FPA as well. And you can see those center leaves greening up. The analytic gardener just popped in. She said, hey, growing out the box. Yeah, you can see that one's greening up after I hit it with the FPJ. So you're talking about 2-3 days. That's all it takes. 2 or 3 days. And this thing is living its best life in here. I mean, like I said, she's putting off huge fruit every day. Those have to come off before I leave out of here tonight. But I just wanted to give you guys a little update on that. But I'm gonna come over here to the chat and we're gonna chop it up a little bit. Cause we ain't gonna be in here all night. Just a little update on some other things. The grapes are coming in pretty good. You can see we got her climbing. She's finally climbing. This is the leader here, so she'll be the only one on here after we propagate these. I'm gonna let them finish those fruiting right here. When those come off, we're gonna go ahead and propagate all of those. Those are Mars grapevines. And over here, we're doing some companion planting. We got some navy beans up front. We just put this trellis in last week, so they'll climb up that trellis. And then navy beans and sweet potatoes in the same bed. Check that out. Navy beans and sweet potatoes in the same bed. I'm gonna pull back and let you guys see that. Navy beans and sweet potatoes in the same bed. It's that Jamaican sorrel popping off. She's doing good. This is one of my experiments right here. I want to see how long it's going to take before the squash vine borer gets her. And this is a yellow squash here, straight neck squash. So we're going to see how long it takes before the squash vine borer gets her. Coming out here, we got, this is the other bed that I just put the sweet potatoes in. You got sweet potatoes going to be going down, rooting, and then you got your navy beans that's going to start climbing. So we're trying to mix it up over here. Still pushing off tomatoes. 95, 98, 99. We still pushing off tomatoes. We got another set ready to go in. The citrus is doing amazing. This ponderosa is here. We're just kind of walking around. This is Arctic frost. This is the first year with the Arctic frost. Now, I made the mistake last year of letting this little thing here carry fruit. I am not going to do that this year because she struggled during the winter time coming out of that dormancy, and I had the time to get it back to life. And look at what's happening right here again. Look at that. She's trying to put on more fruit. Healthy plant, but we're gonna remove this fruit. We're not gonna let that happen. Not this year. We want her to focus on getting ready for this winter. But she's putting on all type of new growth. I'm loving this. So it took a minute to snap her out of it. So I've been babying her this whole time. And out here we got our moringa bushes, not moringa trees, we got moringa bushes. These are gonna be moringa bushes. We're gonna tip those when they get about a foot tall, maybe 18 inches tall. We'll tip them or top them as some people say, and then we'll let them grow out into a bush because I'm down here in Georgia Zone 8A. They're not gonna go to full maturity, so there's no need in even trying. Again, this is our Eureka. The Eureka, oh man, I made some tea with these leaves the other night. And this is the Eureka here. She's putting on lemon like crazy. Yep. Lemon everywhere. I mean, the leaves on this thing smell so good. And she's putting on fruit everywhere. All of this is that FPJ. Look at the color in this now. These are citrus growing in, this is my organic mix. Same way I did that blueberry mix. This is my organic citrus mix. Somebody said you got to be putting synthetics on these citrus in order for them to survive. Somebody said don't put compost in it. I did exactly what they said don't do. We got compost in there. We got peat moss in there. And we have some vermiculite. And this here is the Miwa kumquat. She dropped all of her leaves coming out, and now she's coming back. We had to add a little feed down there. This here is another ponderosa, just ponderosa lemon. She's got lemon everywhere on here. There's not a branch on here without lemon. Again, 100% all organic soil mix. They said you can't grow them in soil like that because they'll get root rot. I'm showing you just what you can do with the right mix. I've had this one for 2 years, 2 years, 2 years. Well, the second year, I'll say. This one I just got this year, 2 years, and that one made it through the winter. So we're gonna keep this one in the garage this season, and then we're gonna bring it back out of the garage and put her in the ground next year. We need her to get a little more girth on her. When she gets a little more girth on her, she's going outside. So let's come over here. All right, now what we came out here to chat about today was, it got sweaty out here already. What I do with my little branch? I just had my branch somewhere around here. And I wanted to show you guys where those flies overwinter at. That's what I wanted to show you. This is what we're talking about today. Yep. So we're gonna sit down here because we're not gonna be in here all night. We're just gonna be here for a little while. So let's get set up here. Right. So let's come in here and we're gonna speak to some people before we get to doing what we do. Right. So let's go down to the bottom of the chat. Gina versus Gina, what's going on? Thank you for coming in. Big Rip 75, thank you for coming in. We already spoke to the analytic gardener. Let's see here. The analytic gardener has loved the trellis. Yeah, that's my little, that's a, what is it, a 2-year? Yeah, that's a 2-year little venture that we've invested in there because I started on that last year, spring, when I planted the grapevines, and then I went ahead and built the whole trellis system around it. But yeah, I'm feeling real good about the trellis system. Everything's coming together pretty well. So No complaints at all. So let's see here. This is what we're talking about right here. These are blackberries. I put this in some water and I wanted to keep it because I was getting so many questions on Facebook, Instagram. I mean, it's just crazy. Facebook, I think it's just hit 1 million views on Facebook. And I'm talking about the blackberry pruning video that I did. That just did 1 million on Facebook in 4 days, 2 million on Instagram in 4 days, and it's doing real well. You know, YouTube is always the hardest to crack, so YouTube is just now getting into it. And the long form video that I just dropped 2 days ago, it's kicking in. So I just wanted to come in and address any questions that anybody had, and also bring to the point of anybody know what the fly is called that gets into your berries. Like, you see how this berry here is like mummified? This is what you do not want to leave on your blueberries. I'm sorry. I'm so used to talking about blueberries around here saying blueberries. This is what you do not want to leave on your blackberries. And this is why when I prune my blackberries, you got to take these things all the way down to the ground. You got to get these out. This is what harbors that fly, and we gonna call it, y'all remember the little group SWV? This is the way I remember these kind of things here. I always associate it with something sort of lock in to me. So you got SWV, this is called SWD, and that's the spotted wing uh, Drosophilus. Drosophilus is what it's called, the spotted wing Drosophilus. That is the fly that lays its eggs into this. And if you are not careful, you will be eating worms out of your blackberries. So that's not a myth that people tell you, that when you're eating blackberries, that there are worms in your blackberries if you are not careful. The opposite of what it is that I do with my blueberries is exactly the opposite of what you want to do with your blackberries. A lot of people ask me, why do I cover my blueberries, but I don't cover my blackberries? The blueberries require about 5, 6 days after they take on their color to get its peak ripeness. You're gonna, acidity will drop in it, and then the sugars will start to climb after about 5 days. So if you're just seeing your blueberries start to get a little color and you're going out there picking them, you're gonna have that acidic tart taste to it. They're not gonna be sweet. You wanna let those blueberries sit on the vine or sit on the bush for at least 5 days. And that is one of the main reasons why I cover it, because if you leave them on the vine for 5 days, the birds are gonna have them before you do. So you must cover your blueberries. With the blackberries, it's just the opposite. The blackberries become ripe as soon as they turn from red to black. They already have their color in it. That sweetness is already there. Now, what happens is that SWD, remember we're using those acronyms because it's so much easier to remember SWD as opposed to Drosophilus. I think that's how you pronounce it. Drosophilus. Hold on now. That's a tongue twister. Drosophila. 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 That's what it's called. The spotted wing Drosophila. Drosophila Suzuki. We can call it the Suzuki if you want to call it, but it's Drosophila Suzuki. That is the fly that lays the eggs in these mummy berries here. So you must get these off of your plant. This is where you're going to get the infection from. And what will happen is the wood, as it starts to die, they'll harbor inside of this, and then next winter, this is where they'll winterize all winter, and then you'll wake them up next spring, and then you're going to have the same problem again next year. So this is one of the main reasons why you want to get those berries off the bush immediately after they turn black. This is one of the only flies that are attracted to ripe berries. They're not really attracted to that rotted smell of the berries. They actually go for the plumpness and the ripeness of the blackberries. They'll even get into your blueberries. So that's another reason why we cover our blueberries, because we're leaving them on the vine or the bush for longer, and that gives more opportunity for that SWD. We don't use those acronyms because that's a whole tongue twister talking about Drosophila. Drosophila. Okay, see, there we go again. Drosophila. 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 Whatever it is, SWV. That's what we're going to call it. And I'm going to get that name right. Uh, Again, these mummy berries, this is what you really are talking about. If you get this thing on here, this is where you're going to get the infestation from that fly. And it will absolutely infest your blackberries. So, one of the main things that you're going to do is harvest. Now, something else that someone said to me is like, well, don't the birds eat your berries? Yeah, yeah, the birds get to the blackberries right away. I have a family of mockingbirds around here, and they pretty much control the garden. If I leave those blackberries out, the mockingbirds are pretty much going to run off any other straggler birds that come around. So you say, well, why are you letting the mockingbirds eat the berries? Unless you are going to come out every single day to pick every ripe berry, that is the best friend that you're going to have in the garden, the mockingbirds. Allow the birds to eat as many berries that you can't pick. Because if you leave those berries on the bush past that first day of ripening, you're almost guaranteed to get that SWD. And we're going to just say SWD. You know, the Drosophilus. Drosophila. 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 I always have to like slow my brain down to get that Drosophila. Drosophila Suzuki. Drosophila Suzuki. That's a tongue twister, I would say. So let me get down here and see what y'all got going on in the chat. Cashflow say, okay, Mr. Growing Out the Box. this for this is I'm just saying this because the blackberries belong to my wife. My wife is lazy about picking the blackberries. So this is something that I wanted to bring emphasis to because a lot of people don't understand how you're getting the worms in your blackberries. And I'm telling you that you're getting your worms in your blackberries because you're not harvesting fast enough. You're not harvesting them fast enough. So let's go down here. You saying a spell or summon the flies. You're saying a spell to summon the flies. Sam Schultz? I think that's what it is. Say I'm summoning a spell to bring in the flies. Well, Drosophilus. There you go. See, I got it right that time. Drosophilus. Drosophilus. I think that's right. Drosophila. 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 I'm gonna get that right. And that's gonna spit off the tongue. I'm gonna get that right in a minute. So let me get down here. What's going on, Miss Linda T. Nog? She says, I'm in the garden, but I'm listening. Hello, family. Miss Linda, thank you for coming in. I really appreciate it. I ain't gonna be in here that long. You know, I always say that, then I end up doing a little extra. But there's something that I know Miss Linda is up on. Drosophilus. I got it that time. Drosophilus. Drosophila. 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 I'm gonna keep saying that because I need to lock that in my brain. Drosophila. Drosophila Suzuki. SWD. Um, Joan McNair says, Mr. Growing Out the Box, your squash. Ooh wee, so beautiful in all your elephant shaped leaves. Yeah, uh, no more pest pressure. That's right. That squash cage, that's the answer there. And I'm, I hate speaking on things before everything comes around because people will start messaging me asking like, okay, where can I get the squash cage? The squash cage is going to be in the Growing Out the Box shop. It's not here yet, but maybe by fall, I don't know, maybe the end of August, we got the three zippers coming. We got our signature raised bed. It's a hexagon raised bed that's coming, and I'm going to be displaying that in the garden. My samples should get here next week, and I'm going to put the whole thing together. It has a canopy on top of it, a 6 foot canopy on top so you can grow tall plants in it, a big 60 foot footprint, 60 inch, I'm sorry, talking about 60 foot, a 60-inch footprint. So it's a really big bed. The canopy has zippers on both sides, similar to how our three zippers are on our blueberries. And there's a cage that goes with it. So we have the whole system that's going with this hexagon bed that we're bringing in. The design on it, you guys are going to love it. And I'm not saying that nobody else has this design that's on this hexagon bed, but the corners of it strong, and I mean it's just a beautiful bed. It is a beautiful bed, and I am so excited to share it with you guys. We're gonna have different sizes in it, but we really gonna go hard. We're going hard going into the Christmas season, and we're gonna try to keep things to a point to where everybody can afford it. And if you can't afford it, we're gonna show you how to build it. I mean, how simple is that? It won't be identical to the one that I'm having manufactured, but it'll serve the same purpose and you can do the exact same thing with it. So that's what we're doing different over here on Growing Out the Box. We're going to not only serve the community with product for those who don't want to build or those who can't build, we're going to show you how to build as well for those who are crafty enough to get out here and build their own. So we want to have both ends. I want to play both ends of the spectrum. I want to be the DIY guy and I also want to be a manufacturer. So that's what we're doing over here at growingoutthebox.com. So we're going to go down here and read the chat. What you laughing at, Cash Flow? I see Cash Flow got the giggles up in there. Let's see what T Nog done said in here, because T Nog over here rolling too. Let's see here. Pat Waters blog. She says, yes, caught another live. My blueberry bushes are are alive. pH was a bit high, so I used some peeled sulfur. Got a little better already. Pat, what I would suggest, get you some L-ascorbic acid. Don't do the no, don't do the pills. Get the L-ascorbic acid. The L-ascorbic acid will last you from here to next season to the next season. The L-ascorbic acid will not only remove the chlorine and the chloramine from your water, it's going to drop the pH as low as you want it. So once you get your measurements right, and usually what I do with my blueberries, I'll put 1/64th of a teaspoon. I have these little measurement spoons. I put 1/64th of a teaspoon in a gallon of water. It'll drop that pH right to where I need it. You can water all your blueberries and you don't have to worry about your tap water raising the pH of your blueberry mix. Um, that's something that I'm very adamant about. And oh yeah, something that I just got this in yesterday. So I'm going to be potting these up, and I know they won't be ready until probably next year. Maybe I'm hoping next year. For some of you rose growers, you probably could tell me I might need some help on this. But Bagosa roses, Bagosa roses is what I just got, and I got 5 of them. Why am I growing Bagosa roses? For the rose hips, vitamin C. Vitamin C is what we need to break the chlorine naturally, organically in our pots, and we don't have to purchase it. So everything we're doing over here, we're trying to figure out how to get it down. Once we figure out how to keep things down and keep it under control, then we're going to figure out how to do these things naturally, how we can bring it into our own ecosystem and make this thing work, close the loop. Rose hips, vitamin C from the rose hips, and not just any rose, the Bagosa rose. Those things are huge. Little fruit, that's what they are. Vitamin C fruit, and that fruit has enough vitamin C powder in it, enough vitamin C power to break the chlorine and chloramine bond uh, in your tap water. So you can water your garden without having your microbes destroyed. So we're trying to do a whole lot over here, man, in a short period of time. So let's see here. Get down here and read some of the chat. Cash flow say you're doing too much. That's all I know, man. That's all I know. It's just my motor don't stop running. I wish I could lay down and sleep some nights. Some nights I'm up 2, 3 o'clock in the morning, uh, filling orders, studying, trying to figure out what's the next thing to do. Uh, let's see here. James Jones, 68, says, first time on the live feed, ready to really love the content. Thank you for sharing the knowledge and experience. I'm loving the ideas of the new raised bed. Yeah, that raised bed, I mean, I already have the smaller ones. I haven't set them up yet because I'm so like this huge 60-inch wide hexagon bed. It's just amazing the way that it looks. And then, like I said, I have a 6 foot cage that goes on top of it, so you can grow tall stuff in the cage. But growing brassicas, anything that you're going to have insect pressure on it, that is what we're going to be growing this for. That is what we're going to be building these systems for. Uh, Same thing with the squash cage. We're going to have that available on growingoutthebox.com. It was so funny this morning when I came out to pollinate, because of course, if they're in the cage, you're going to have to hand pollinate. When I came out to hand pollinate this morning, the bees were just running into the screen trying to get in there because I guess the those yellow flowers on the squash were just, they were calling them. The bees were just calling them. So I was really excited to see that. Then I got in and I hand pollinated. But yeah, that squash, and then I even have some Japanese beetle crawling up the side of it right now. The Japanese beetle are trying to get in it. That's a great investment that I've made. It's not big enough. That's what I will say, because the plants are growing so well in there, with them having no insect pressure. They just growing at the best of their ability. So yes, Cashflow say like the video, likes the video. Pyrethrum daisies, okay. Analytic Gardener says she got those pyrethrum daisies. Hey, the pyrethrum daisies is that pow pow pow. They would knock them down. And I don't even really talk about the pyrethrums that much because some people get a little tiptoeish about how you talk about stuff like that. But it is all organic, and it will not those. Let me just, Japanese beetle are on my beans. They're tearing my beans up. But the leaf-footed nymph, oh yeah, those uh those pyrethrum daisies, knock them down. I mean, knock them. You ever seen, back in the days when we was living in the I ain't gonna say the projects, but they weren't the best apartments that we were raised in, and you would have we try to be all proper about it, but you would have like roaches, and you hit them with that raid, and you'll see them flip over. That's That pyrethrum daisy, man, bring back memories. I'm feeling good, y'all. I'm feeling real good, man. The garden is just looking amazing. I'm gonna give you guys a little panorama. But this again, going back to this because my looks like my tablet is gonna die out on me. But I just wanted to touch with you guys on these mummy berries. On your blackberries, get them off. Prune those things out. This is your flora cane. You see the three leaves on it. This is how you know this is flora cane. This needs to come out, go all the way down to the ground. If you're using blackberries, I'm sorry, if you're using raspberries, the black raspberries and the red raspberries, you prune them exactly the same way. You take them all the way to the ground. They're going to give you 2 years. On that second year, cut that flora cane out. On the golden raspberries, I take them all the way to the ground every winter, and they're going to grow back. They're going to fruit on the prima canes. Let's see what is another one that everybody was asking me about. I mean, I got so many questions. I couldn't believe how many questions were coming in, and it all tied right back to the raspberries. And I'm gonna kind of show you guys how I have my system set up here, because once my blackberries are finished, then my raspberries come in. So this is the setup here. These are my raspberries here. See how beautiful they are? That is just absolutely amazing specimen. I'm loving it. That's those FPJs, I'm telling you. But you can see she's starting to put on her berries already. And the same thing with these berries here. Soon as they ripen, get them off. Soon as they ripen, get them off. And the bees are working. Look at him. I'm over here disturbing him. See him right there? He's doing his thing. That's what he's supposed to do. Now, here's a perfect example of what tipping does. Let's see here. Trying to find my bud here. See, we just did that video a couple of days, and look how those babies are pushing out already. That's going to be your lateral shoots that's going to come out. Now, I'm holding back. You see all of this here? This is what's going to happen. These are your lateral shoots. They're going to start coming out. You see how it's that 5 leaf right here that I was telling you guys about. 5 leaves. Then you're going to have this one come out. You see the 3 leaves on this. This is your laterals. You see how long that is now? It's going to shoot those laterals out. And what you're going to have is a bush. And you see the tip of that is gone. Let me see if I can get that to focus. You see the tip of that is gone? That's what makes that happen. When you take that tip off, she's going to start shooting out those side shoots. Now, there's a 2-part to this pruning, because once we get the side shoots going, wintertime, this is the trick to it. Wintertime, when these are out to about 3 feet, we're going to cut those back to 18 inches. When we tip, that's going to make the quantity of your berries come in. You're going to get more berries because you're going to have more fruiting wood. You're going to have more fruiting wood, your flora canes. Now, what we're going to do then, we're going to cut that down to 12 to 18 inches. That's going to be where you get your size from. It's a 2-part pruning series. I've been hearing a lot of people say, well, I prune mine in the wintertime. Yes, you prune in the wintertime also, but you summer prune to get the bulk of your berries, and you winter prune to get the size of the berries. So it's a 2-part system. And I'm going to show you guys the whole thing. Next year when these come in, this particular branch right here, when it goes out, because it's a primocane this year, when it comes in next year, this will be the first one to fruit next year, and you'll see berries all over this thing. Huge berries, all over it. Again, you prune in the summertime, you tip it. That's going to make those laterals grow. That's what you have right here. You're going to have laterals all over it. Once this gets out, we're going to prune that in the wintertime to about 18 inches. That's where you get your size from. That's where all those huge berries I got from last year. And you can see, I just did that video a couple of days ago, and these things are pushing out already. I mean, they're just pushing out. That's what you want to see. Look at that, this baby down here. This is what happens when you tip. It starts pushing out those laterals. Look at that. When you tip it, you see that right there tipped in the middle? The tip is gone, and you look at those laterals. She's shooting those laterals out. So this one here, when we get ready to prune in the wintertime, we'll stop this one about right here. This is where we'll cut it off. That's what's going to make the size of those berries. Every berry that comes on that floricane is going to be a huge berry when you tip this in the wintertime. So we're going to come back and we're going to show you guys that. But this is my raspberries. My raspberries are coming up now that the blackberries are finished. And that's how the bed is designed. You want your bed to be aired out, because also what the SWD likes, that fly that we're talking about, that fly likes humidity. It likes cool air and humidity. So the more light you allow in, the less hospitable that is for that fly, and the less chances you're gonna have having that fly to get into your fruit. Look at that baby there. He's working. I'm disturbing him. Look at the berries are coming in already, topped off. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna let this do what it's gonna do. Then once it finishes, we're gonna take the top off, and then the berries will come in on the back side. This is my, I forget the name of this one, but this is a everbearing. She's gonna fruit again. So after she fruits on the tip, we're gonna take that off, and then she'll start to fruit down low. That's what'll happen. Look at that. So we're gonna get back over here and chop it up for a little while, and then we're gonna get out of here because we said we're not gonna be it. Let me just give you guys a pan of the garden. Yeah, just give you a quick pan of the garden. It's the blueberries in pots down here. That's the Jamaican sorrel, one of them. That's our squash cage. Doing amazing. I can't help but to keep showing off this squash cage. This thing is, it's one plant is giving me, 4 or 5 squash a day. I mean, every other day I'm coming out here harvesting. I swear to God, I was just out here this morning. That was about that size. Look at this thing. That's got to come off tonight. Yeah, that's huge. So, and again, these are 24-inch leaves on here. 24-inch. 24-inch leaf. Look at my hand. This is a zucchini. There's a 24-inch leaf spans on here. Looks like elephant ears. That's how huge they are. Squash all over. That's our Georgia candy roaster right there, courtesy of Mike's Chaotic Gardening. I don't know if he's in here, but Mike's Chaotic Gardening gave me these seeds, I think about 3 years ago. And this is my 3rd generation with them. Y'all remember how pale she was? We hit her with some of that FPJ, and look at how she greened up. This is the truth, man. Biological stimulants, not fertilizer, biological stimulants. And she's just now putting on her first set of squash. These are yellow necks. So we come out every morning, and now she's gonna be doing the same thing. We just pollinated this one this morning, and I'll probably get 3 or 4 out of these every other day. Got my first candy roaster coming in. See her right there. And these things get to about 18 to 24 inches long as well. And I got to come in and finish putting up a trellis system inside the squash cage to have it something to climb on. Even this little baby down here, she's starting to get a little color in her now. So she's starting to hold her own. And what I'm going to have to do is probably prune out a couple of these leaves just to give her a little space to breathe. But next year, I already know the footprint on here has got to be totally different. I might get 2 plants. I would not even try to get 2 of these in here. And I don't know how big this one is going to get without having any insect pressure. I mean, these are perfect plants. These are perfect plants, perfect specimens. If there was a such thing as a picture perfect, that would be these. I mean, they are flawless. And even going over here, the figs are coming in nice. I saw Miss Linda showing out her figs the other day. Miss Linda over there eating, mine are just coming in. Yep, got figs all over. This is a brown turkey here. This is the 3rd year brown turkey. When they get in that 3rd year, that's when they're gonna start showing out for you. It's a 3rd year brown turkey. See, she's putting on, you see, now she's starting to take off. This that 3rd year in the ground. And it's crazy because this one over here in the back, you see that big one right there? That's a 3 year also. They're the same age, but that one took off even faster. Now, I'm over here looking at my cucumbers. My cucumbers, this Armenian cucumbers here, we just now starting to get them in. They love this heat. Where everybody's cucumbers are sputtering out, my cucumbers are just coming in. Armenian cucumbers. And they'll get anywhere from 12 to 18 inches long. Look at the leaves now. This is what I'm telling you. I'm spraying that liquid whey that I tell you guys all the time. Look at all the cucumbers are coming in. She's finna put it on and the bees are working. You guys get to see the plants up close. A lot of people do the videos and myself as well. And we like to show all the pretty stuff, edit it out, the stuff that we don't want you to see. But all of this is some beautiful, beautiful, man, I love the leaf pattern on this turmeric. Love the leaf pattern on that turmeric. Gotta rub the Buddha. Yep. And then we come over here, same thing. Once that green disappears and this here browns up a little bit, you're starting to see it change color now. She'll be ready to come off. So you don't have to leave these on the vine all the way to the end of the season. Once this stem starts to brown, you cut this off at the end right here. Leave that stem on there. You want this green to disappear. That's what you're looking for, that green to disappear. You got more of those coming in, and then they're all open. Now this the test over here to see how long we can grow this before the squash vine borer gets it. But again, look at the leaves. All of this is what I'm feeding my plants now. We're in the heat of the summer, tipping up at 100 degrees. And you're looking at my cucumbers and you're looking at my squash plants. These are my squash plants. Go over here. Let's see here. Miss Linda, this is courtesy of Miss Linda right here. Clitoria ternatea, butterfly pea flowers. I got these seeds from Miss Linda. That's the New Orleans gardener, T-Nog 511. So that's coming in. We got some wax beans right here coming in. Got was I going to show you guys? Oh yeah, just showing you how things are really turning out. Even with the tomatoes, most people tomatoes are done. I like growing determinants. Determinants are going to be a little more hardy. These are marglobes. I love the marglobes. The marglobes and there's a 24 that I use also. More of the tomatoes, marglobe. But this baby right here, everybody talks about their Mexican sunflower. What's going on, Mike's Chaotic Gardening? I see you, my brother. Everybody grows those little spriggly Mexican sunflowers. This is my Mexican sunflower. Tipping. This is the secret to it. Tipping. It pushes off all these short branches. That's what tipping is. I take this. This is my potassium. This is what I feed my strawberries, all my fruiting plants. I could make an FPJ out of this, or I can drop it on the ground. This is where that potassium comes from. This is a master source of potassium and the highest plant phosphorus that you can get. This plant has more phosphorus in it than any other plant that you're going to be able to get out of. So we got a couple of those. That's what I've been feeding this plant. And this is my brown select satsuma. I feed it that Mexican sunflower. So we're gonna get back over here and chop it up a little while, and then we're gonna get out of here. Like I said, we didn't want to be here all evening holding you guys up, but giving you guys a better look at the, oh yeah, and we're having our obelisk also done. So we're gonna have these on growing out the box as well. Everything that I'm building out here, we're gonna end up having on growingoutthebox.com. This is what they call an obelisk. And that's what they used back in the pyramids, back in the pyramid days with the Egyptians. They call it an obelisk. And what do I use that for? Those are my trellises for my tomatoes. These are my black cherries. These are my babies right here. Ooh, 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 ooh. I get that from Broke. Ooh, 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 ooh. Look at that baby there. Look at how she's shining. There's the black cherries coming in. Ooh, man, and this basil here smelling. This basil is smelling crazy good. Yeah. There's some peppers over there. Some peppers here. Again, the heat of the summer, everything's still going strong. Heat of the summer, everything's going strong. Peppers, plants. We have a little Japanese beetle problem, but we handling that Japanese beetle. We dealing with it. Peanuts. Look how beautiful those peanuts are. Oh yeah. They are living their best life. Gypsum, I'm gonna say it again, gypsum. That's the secret to this right here, gypsum. When I started putting that gypsum in, oh man, all the beans and the peanuts just went crazy. I'm starting to put it everywhere. Gypsum, that's what's making these things do what they're doing. You want to get your tomatoes to last longer? Gypsum. Gypsum. That's something that you definitely want to have. Even your kale there, beautiful kale growing in the middle of some more beans here. We're just letting things do what it do. So we're gonna come back over here. Chop it up a little more. And then I got about 1%. I got 1% on my tablet. I don't know why this thing didn't want to charge today, but this is the first day, I'm telling you, man, this is the first day that I absolutely was 100% prepared to go live. And then I go back and check my tablet that's been on charge for 6 hours and it's not charging. Go figure. So I'm not gonna hold you guys up. I just wanted to pop in, give you a little bit, because like I said, I got 1% left on my tablet. And then after that, I can't see anything after that. So we're gonna see what Mike's Chaotic Garden is talking about. Just got in from the garden. I'm here. Yeah, Mike, I appreciate you being here, man. I love it. I was just showing off your candy roaster that you sent me a couple of years ago. I'm always shout you out whenever I show that candy roaster. I keep forgetting getting to plant the butterfly peas. Yeah, that butterfly pea, my wife loves that butterfly pea flower. It's awesome. Uh, let's see, Mike's Chaotic Garden. Jackie Griffin says, I'm going to grow up to be like growing out the box. Jackie Griffin say that. I appreciate that, man. What is that? Annie Man, North Carolina here. What's going on? I appreciate you coming in. I hate that, man. Like I said, it's crazy that the first time that I came prepared and my tablet's not charged, I can't see anything without the tablet. So that's my little. I got my phone up here that I look at, and that's the camera. Then I have my tablet mounted onto the stand, and it just makes it so much easier. I got a outside router, so you guys probably saying like, how in the world is he keeping the clarity of his live being outside in the garden? 400 square feet, I can move anywhere around here, and I have an outside router that's dedicated to the garden. I can go up to 5 miles and still have the same signal. Actually, my signal out here is even better than what it is in the house at my router. So my tablet just went out. So we got 72 in here right now. We're going to keep it going for, I think I could read on my screen a little bit. So if you guys want to hang out just a little bit longer, put some thumbs up in there. Let me see the screen light up with some thumbs up, and then we'll hang out just a little bit longer. I'll see if I can read the screen. Mike's Chaotic Gardening threw up a thumb. Boom. Give me another one. Give me another. And then you can hit those over there. Oh, and by the way, the last time that we were live, I said we broke the record for the number of reactions. We went from 1,500 reactions to about 4,500 reactions. And then we went all the way to 11,000 reactions. The last live, we had 26,000 reactions. That's the little hearts and the 100s on the side right there. So that is what's making these lives really take hold. And I think the last live that we had is now, maybe not the last live, but two lives before, we got 8,000 views out of a live. That to me is, I mean, that's a whole nother thing. And not only 8,000 views, but I think we were on for almost 2 hours, and the replay is getting almost an hour watch time. That was the one when we were talking about the fulvic acid and I was showing you the bottles. That video is getting over 1 hour watch time. So I'm really getting the feel of this. I call it Growing Live 2026, growing out the box. You guys are responding to the movement around the garden. I really appreciate that. I jump from one thing to the other. I don't really stay on topic, and a lot of people were like telling me in the beginning, like that's a little unstructured. But in a fast-paced world that we're living in, where everything is constantly moving, I think that's the best thing that I've been able to do in doing these lives, and that is moving around the garden where you can see everything that's going on. You know what I mean? So a lot of people will show you just the good parts of their garden. I could pan around and let you see the whole thing. My garden is what it is. You know what I mean? I put the time in, the energy in, these inputs that I'm growing, and I literally mean the inputs that I am feeding my garden, I'm growing. I got alfalfa here. I got comfrey right there. You just saw my Mexican sunflower out there. I got my stinging nettle on the other side. I even use the sweet potato vine to make a FPJ. Now you might say, sweet potato vine, like what? What can you get? In the tips of the sweet potato vine is what you call your auxins and gibberellins. And we ain't gonna go all deep into this thing, but the auxins and gibberellins. That's what where the nutrients, the most power of that plant is in the tips. Take those tips from your sweet potato leaves, 50% brown sugar or molasses, dice it up real fine, put your mesh cover over it, 50-50 brown sugar or molasses by weight. Let that ferment for about 2 weeks, 6 days to 2 weeks. It's going to extract all the nutrients out of those leaves, and you're going to have like a little puddle of nutrients on the bottom. Take that out, run it through a cheesecloth, strain it off. That liquid, 1 tablespoon to a gallon, that is biologically stimulants for your plants, not fertilizer. We done went past the NPKs. We're not even talking about NPKs anymore. We are biologically stimulating our plants. When you give them those sweet potato, that sweet potato FPJ, you are feeding your plant the hormones that came from the tips of those plants that stimulates that plant, and it'll take on that character. What plants can you use that on? Squash, they have the same characteristics, they travel. uh, your cucumbers, same characteristics, they travel. All my squash over here, this thing is, it's real, it's all the way real. So I'm trying to read the chat. This thing is so small on my phone here, but let's see here. We ain't gonna hold y'all up. I just wanted to come in and, like I said, share with you guys once again. We're gonna end it with this because it doesn't require me. Uh, when you see these berries like this here, this is what's considered a mummy berry. I'm gonna see if we can get that to focus. This is what you would consider to be a mummy berry. This is the worst thing to leave on your blackberry bush. This is the worst thing to leave on your blackberry bush. And if you look at my blackberry bed, you'll see all these berries gone. You don't want any of these berries left on the ground, because what's going to happen is that SWD, and we're going to try to pronounce that again, the uh, the Drosophila, Drosophila, okay, Drosophila Suzuki. Drosophila Suzuki is the name of the fly that lays the eggs in these mummy berries, and they will overwinter in your garden, and you will be harboring these until the next season. This is a no-no. Get this out of your garden. Once these canes are spent, they've already got their berries off, cut them down to the bottom, get them out of your garden. This is where those flies harbor at. This is where the flies harbor at. This is what they love to store themselves in, and they'll be there for the next time. So we got 71 in here right now. I'm gonna say, appreciate you guys for coming in. I said it was gonna be a quick one. My tablet is making me stick to my words, so maybe that's the sign that says, hey dude, you said you was gonna get in and get out. So I appreciate it, man. You guys are the best. Until the next time, keep growing out the box.